Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof!
G'day, how you all going? It's Dry That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com. So today, tonight, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, with great pleasure to get to have a chat with Fredrik Larsson of HammerFall, the almighty band, has been wowing audiences since their debut album, Glory to the Brave, in 1997. They did make a brief rendezvous to Australia there, but that was not enough for the 27 odd years you guys have been together. They are keen as hell to get back to Australia in January. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys as well over at the Lion Arts Factory as well. Fredrik, thank you so very much for joining me, my friend.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
I'm so looking forward to get back to Australia. It was way too long since we've been there.
Yeah, what was that like? That little brief trip over? Like, it would have been like, damn,
Yeah, it was something like we had this. I think we played Japan, some festival. So we thought we might have to do something while we're in that kind of area. It's such a long flight from Japan to Australia as well. But you know, from our point of view, it's your neighbors.
Yeah.
So we did a couple of shows, and we did a couple of shows in. Was it Hong Kong and Taiwan on the way back? So yeah, it was just something for fun.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to get over here to Australia. There's definitely a lot of logistics involved, especially for a band like you to be able to bring over the stage performances that you guys do put on. What was that like, getting that kind of set up and organising that to get over in Australia? Because it is quite a lengthy process as well.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember how it was in 2014 when we got there. Yeah. I guess someone else took care of the stuff, but we were actually in Stockholm rehearsing yesterday.
Yes.
So then we took all of our stuff and packed it up so have a good start at least. So yeah. I know the logistics problems.
Yeah. What's it finally? I know it must feel pretty good to finally be able to bring HammerFall to Australia after all these years. I know you have a lot of fans here, me being one of them. What's that like? How does it feel to finally get you guys over here doing this?
It's really great being back and to come to places that we don't visit usually. I mean, we have our biggest market in Europe, of course, yes. and then we have South America as a big market, touring the US, North America. It's the distance are just too big to handle. So and then add another market like Australia and Asia. It's so big. So it's great to be back and especially being back on small stages to see you interact with the fans a lot more, because it's going to be sweaty, it's going to be tight, and it's going to be a lot of fun, lots of energy.
Yeah,
sure.
That must be fun as well, kind of coming back to these kind of a little bit smaller stages, because you guys have played some unreal festivals and some big crowds, and they do have their differences though, compared to a festival where you're playing a smaller house and it's a little bit more intimate and you get a little bit more time to kind of play the classics and a lot of the other stuff as well.
Yeah. I mean, especially going to Australia and meeting the fans, most of them for the first time maybe. And then it's so great to be able to interact and look them in the eye and get the response and so it's a whole another level. If you play at Wacken for 80,000 people, then you can't see the people, but you see just a big ocean of people who moves. So it's such a big difference. I love them both. Can't complain.
Yeah, so that being said, what's it like when you come down to the process of choosing a set list? Because this is I know there's worse places to be, but how do you go choosing a set list from all of this, for the Aussie fans as well? Because we want to hear everything, but you also want to play stuff off the new album, Avenge the Fallen.
Yeah.
Is an absolute ripper. I'm still hammering.
Great to hear. 'It's getting harder and harder. It's really hard to nail down of course, there's a lot of classics that people want to hear, so we have to bring them as well. And then we want to play some new songs, and then we want to play some odd favorites, bring in something new for everyone. So yeah, we have a lot of records to choose from. But this year is the anniversary for Chapter 5, so you're gonna
2025.
you're gonna get a medley from that one. That's how we usually do it. Then we can at least give it some attention and not play too many songs, So yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, so that being said, like, it is going to be a big year, HammerFall Anno 2025, as we say, in terms of what have you guys got planned besides that you can say, obviously, in terms of this year, because it is going to be a big year for you guys.
Yeah, we're going to do Australia, and then we head off to the US for 70,000 tons of metal. It's gonna be fun again. We've done it a couple of times, but it's always fun to be on a boat with all the fans and everybody just interacts and hangs out and have a nice time drinking beer and relax. And then there's actually a little break, and then we're gonna do a lot of festivals this summer.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot coming for sure.
And can you tell me a little bit about how you feel the band's sound has evolved and grown since kind of that first debut? Because it's kind of been the same, but it has been this clear evolution to you guys as well, and you've kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit with each album, but not too much to upset anyone.
When I started in '96, this was, for me, it was for fun. It was a great time hanging out, playing heavy metal, the music that I grew up with and loved. But at the same time, I played in a death metal band with Oscar and in a thrash band with some other guys. So heavy metal was not my focus, but it was fun to play. And so right after the debut album, I dropped off. So I was away for 10 years. And Magnus Rosén played in between. So that's when the band grew big and everything happened. I mean, straight off with the first record, it took off really, really well. So when I came back in 2007, it was a whole nother level. So it was really great being back in the rehearsal with the guys, because the guys were pretty much the same. But everything else around it, it was like a proper business around it. So it was kind of strange for me to jump in. But yeah, now I've been in the band for a long time. So I think everything evolves little by little. I think we're still gaining fans, and I think we still release albums that are relevant, that people want to hear. So that's the thing. If we don't do that, if we stagnate and just release new albums to be able to go out on tour and play old records, I think that's not going to happen, because then we're going to quit instead and just do something else. Because I think we still need to have that that's something for ourselves to see that the things that we make nowadays are as good as it was, maybe for some fans at least.
For some
fans, some fans are always going to refer to, it's only the 2 first records that were good. So
some fans that need to go home and just tap away on this thing. I think Glenn Benton said it best. It's like going into a restaurant, getting a fancy steak, and then getting up, not having to pay for it, and then complain about it. It's like, dude, just take the music as it is. Even the state of the music scene now, like since back then in 1996, the way music is consumed, it's a whole new different way of consuming music. So for me, like you said, bands that are just bringing out an album just to tour off the other stuff. One thing that HammerFall has always done, as you just mentioned, you don't ever bring out an album for that reason. This Avenge the Fallen is a ripper album and stands on its own. It's an amazing album. You guys are still one of the bands, and definitely an icon in the power metal scene, the classic trad heavy metal scene, that are still bringing out great albums and making albums, if you know what I mean, not just making for single markets and trying to please these Spotify fucking platforms that are just feeding off the backs of musicians.
Yeah, That's not, we can't do it because we don't want it. We still want to make an album with all the ups and downs, you should be able to sit down with a classic vinyl and listen to side A and side B, and then that's it. So you need to have all those different kind of songs on it as well. So you can't just bring 10 hit songs and market them as singles, so and release them time to time. So no, that's not us. We're a classic heavy metal band, so we're going to stick to that.
And speaking of vinyl, it's really good to see metalheads still going out and buying vinyl and music. I think we're the one scene, I know a lot of people do it, but there are so many metalheads, and you see it all the time at shows, lining up to buy the shirts, buy the merch. I love vinyl. I've started my vinyl collection in COVID, and there's nothing like that, locking into that listening experience, listening to side A, then side B, you know what I mean? And engage with that album all the way through it. And that's one thing I really liked about the last album as well. What was it like making that one?
The process has been pretty much the same as the previous albums. We recorded in a studio we have that Oscar has actually. So we started with the drums, and then we sit down by ourselves with me, Pontus, and Oscar, just laying layers upon layers and finish the songs. And then of course Joacim does his vocal things, usually somewhere else, to work with someone else who can produce him or have a connection to, so he can perform his best. But I think for us it's really nice to be able to not be in a proper studio that we have to pay rent for every day, every minute counts, and so we can just relax. We're probably working faster this way because we don't have the pressure. We can do something, come back the next day and listen to it and say, maybe we can tweak this, do something else. Let's try it, and then we have the time and we can just do whatever we want. That's the best thing.
Damn straight. It's a really great album, and it's interesting to hear that I've heard it from a lot of big bands that I've interviewed, that is having these challenges with making album and worrying about studio time. And that's why I keep going. The way we're consuming music at the moment is broken. I know we can't get away from streaming, but I think artists need to get paid better for their work and not the big corporate guys that are running it. I don't know. That's just my opinion of it as well. Are there any specific challenges you feel like that you may encounter with the upcoming tour in Australia, or has it all been pretty seamless so far?
There's always problems, but everything from travel plans to it's hard to make everything go seamless.
Australia's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and you just have to deal with it. It's gonna be long sleepless flights, but it's gonna be okay. The moment you stand on stage, that's where you get the profit from everything. So it's going to be a struggle, but a fun struggle.
Oh, yeah. It's Tuesday 14th, you're in Perth. So that's this time next week at the Metro Fremantle. People get onto that. Wednesday 15th, you are in my home city of Adelaide at Lion Arts. I will be there front row centre. Friday 17th, you're at Melbourne. Then Saturday the 18th, Sydney at the Manning Bar. Sunday the 19th, Brisbane, the Triffid. The Thephoenix.au, they're a great bunch of people. They will look after you guys all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Have they got anything planned? Have you got anything planned, like to kind of, got to get the koala bear or something Aussie? Is there anything you want to do? Or?
Oh yeah, I've only been to Australia twice, so this is the third time, and I will do whatever I can do during the days when I have the time. I will go out and look just go around and consume the atmosphere and everything. So.
Adelaide is the one city that has two big metal balls. They're called the big steel balls of Adelaide. They're down Rundle Mall. So go for a wander down there. That's always a bit of a laugh. It's like the big metal balls in Adelaide. I know Adelaide's pretty good, dude. You'll have fun down there anyway, walking around and looking. It's a beautiful city.
Sounds good.
Yeah. How do you maintain the energy and enthusiasm you guys have for live performances after so long?
That's the point where we never had any problems.
Yep.
On stage, it's like never less than 100%. Everybody enjoys it, and we have great fun on stage. And I hope that shows, because it's really the thing. It seems like all five of us is we're doing the best on stage. We having the best time in the studio. It's always, it's fun, but it's not the same thing. Not the same interaction and so on. So I think we all live for the stage.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's kind of that payback, isn't it? Those live performances as well, that interaction between the crowds. You get the energy from them.
Yeah.
And I find as we get older, I'm a few years off of 50 myself now, and get more motivated as you get older for some fucking reason. You just feel like you've got to get more done.
I'm gonna keep doing it until I can't. So it feels like I have to do my best, and I have to really push it to get there. So, and I'm gonna keep doing it because it's so rewarding.
You keep pushing it there, Fredrik. I'm going to sign out there, let you get another drink before the next one, mate. Do you have any last words, shout-outs, any messages for the Aussie audiences, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to put in?
I really hope you come see us and bring all your friends to make the party even bigger. And hopefully it won't take this long until next time. This is just the beginning for Australia, I hope.
Damn straight. HammerFall, Avenge the Fall in Australia. Get a fucking amongst it. Chuck in some HammerFall. Crank it really loud. The neighbours are going to want to hear it too. Cheers, mate.
Thanks. Bye.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.